Hello, good morning students. Our today's teaching topic is related to Snapshot. Snapshot chapter first class 11th English. And the chapter name is The Address by Margot Minko. The chapter is very interesting chapter because this chapter is including a lot of emotions and pathetic scenes. A touch whatever done by the daughter for her mother's belongings to recall and remember about her mother's. In this chapter, there are three characters, three most important characters. The first character is the author, the narrator of this chapter, and the second character is Mrs. S, the narrator's mother, and the last third character is Mrs. Dorling, who is a cunning lady, but at first unable to know about her cunningness to her mother's by her mother's. This is why she start to give her own every belongings. This chapter is started. A lady and a girl came and stand in the door of the 46 Marconi Street. And this 46 Marconi Street, it is the outside of that door. And calling and bell, and at that time a woman came outside from this door. And at this time, the door is opened by a woman, a middle-aged woman, and that woman unable to recognize that girl. That author's hope is that definitely the lady recognized me, but the lady is unrecognized, unable to recognize. The first line of this chapter is the first time when the narrator visited the address. Mrs. Dorling behaved in the most absurd manner. Mrs. Dorling behaved in a very absurd manner, misbehaved. Because if you take a lot of belonging things before some years ago, at that time definitely you recognized, definitely you acquainted with that person and that person's belongings, but she unable to recognize. Why she unable to recognize? Because she want to steal everything, whatever she present a lot of effort to steal that things when her mother's alive. When narrator's mother alive, she want to steal everything. She want to have everything forever in further future. This is why she unable to recognize it. And after happening these situations, a doubt has occurred in her mind, narrator's mind, and heart also. Because when the door opened and the lady unable to recognize and present a behave that is unknown person, at that time the doubt is running in his mind and heart. But when she saw, she wears green cardigan. This green cardigan dress is her mother's dress. At that time she knows about everything. She confirmed that this lady is the Mrs. Dorling, but this lady is not present himself as a recognized lady, and this lady present a prevent face, hide her face and hide partly half of her body behind the door, and she looked some things inside the rooms. She confirmed definitely. But after happening these situations, the narrators of these chapters, heart is broken and she returned back, because the train time is come before her and the time is arrival here. So she returned back by the train, and when she sat in the train, she remembered those things, those spent moment, whatever passed that time when her mother lied. This story is relating to Hitler's bad activities, Hitler's bad administrations, Hitler gives an order to his soldiers to send to catch the Jews and to catch the Jews into the concentration hall, concentration room, concentration places. What's the concentration places? The concentration were sent to prisoner as a prison. There are a lot of torture given by the soldiers of the Hitlers, and the order is about to come. This is maybe a doubt, but this doubt is maybe confirmed in after some time. The doubt is that the order is that all Jewish persons have to send in concentration places. This is why the firm decision should be, the compelling decision should be taken by the author's mothers. What's the decision? The decision is that we have to send these valuable things to others person, acquaintance person, a familiar person, so that we can save our own belongings, our own valuable belongings, and after completing the concentration period, we have to protect it and we live alive with these things. The decision is taken by the narrator's mother, author's mother, and Mrs. Dorlings. At that time, Mrs. Dorlings visit again and again the narrator's house. At that time, the narrator is like a little child, and that this little child definitely remember in a very good way. The remembering thing is that one by one her valuable belonging things disappeared. Her valuable things, valuable thing invisible inside of her house, and one day she asked these questions to her mothers. Why you sent everything? Why you give this valuable belongings to Mrs. Dorlings? And Mrs. Dorlings that belonging things take a lot and fulfill her own bags, and unable to take that burden bag, but she able to take it because the lust and the wish occur her own mind and heart also. Because she make a plan. The plan is that we have to take it forever, because she considered herself to take the matter of this family when this family sent once in a concentration room, in a concentration places. At that time, no one can come back from concentration because they are given a lot of torture, and due to this torture, they definitely will be die forever, getting demise. This is why she take every valuable things, and this suggestion is given Mrs. Dorlings to the Mrs. S, the narrator's mother. But after some times, she take another firm decision. The decision is relating to we have to return our own belongings, because that belonging is relating to my mother's memorable moment. That belonging is relating to my mother's belongings also. And on the basis of these belongings, we live easily. My memory is run with that belongings. Definitely, we never ever left a single belonging things. This is why we have to return back to take our own belonging times. This type of determination running in her mind and heart also, and this determination is compelled to return back the narrator of this chapter. Narrator visit again, and this time the determination is that definitely we have to take our own belongings. Dear student, next time when she visit 46 Marconi Street, at that time in that house there is no Mrs. Dorlings inside the house, and when the bell rung by the narrator, at that time the door opened and a 15 years old girl is standing there. By opening the door, and then 15 years old girl allowed to come inside her house. When the narrator entered her house, at that time the past memorable things the past memories that is correlate and concern the belonging things is running in a very well in her mind, because you know that students, the passing things, the belonging things is on her, just like cloth, silver cutlery, antique plates, large vase and crockery. Are these belonging things, whatever have in her house, this is relating to her own. Whatever she seen in childhood, this antique belonging things she saw in childhood. This is why she resembles and she remember as she has inside of her own house. If you given a lot of belonging things to other person, and definitely when you went to other person's house, you have remember your own house instead of other person's house due to the belongings of your own day. Mrs. Darling was helping her by taking her tablecloth, silver cutlery, antique plates, large vase and crockery to her house to keep in safe custody. एक एक चीज करके उठा ले गई थी उसके घर से, सिर्फ इसलिए उठा ले गई कि तुम्हें किसी भी समय जो है कस्टडी में भेजा जा सकता है, कंसंट्रेशन प्लेसेस में भेजा जा सकता है, तो तुम्हारी सारी चीजें बर्बाद हो जाएगी, मैं सारी चीजों को ले लेती हूँ और बाद में वापस कर दूंगी, ये करके उठा ले गई। On her second visit to 46th Marconi Street, she could get entry into the house as Mrs. Darling, 15-year-old daughter. At that time, Mrs. Darling is not present inside her own house. She goes outside of the house for the other work and purpose also, and she gets 15-year-old daughter. And the daughter make a cup of tea and coffee, someone drinkable things, and given, and she represent different type of things, and all things is belonging to the narrator's children and childhood, and narrator childhood is revoked again after seeing these belonging things, and definitely she take a firm decision again. If we take these belonging things, definitely these belonging things gives and evoke and revoke our past memories, and we remember, if we remember our past memories, definitely this past memory gives us a lot of pain, because this time, this date, my mother is no more, my mother is get demised, and this is good for me if we forget everything, if we forget past time, because the most important things in our own life is passed away forever in further future also. My mother is no more, my mother is get demised, and if we remember her own belongings, definitely he remembered again and again to me after happening this situation. This is why we have to left everything, the first thing, and the other things we can't get easily these things. If we can't get easily these things, the bitterness is spread everywhere, and the bitter moment create itself, a lot of bitter moment also create in my life. What's the bitter moment? The bitter moment is that due to the concentration and due to this decision whatever done by, whatever given by the Hitler, my life is always ruined. Also before even after happening this situation, and we will establish at this time in the absence of my mother, and these things is gives the remembrance. The remembrance is the past, and this past give us pain. This is why we have to left it. Dear students, this one may be an answer of any of the questions. This type of question again given in your question paper again and again. This is why the narrator decided to forget her past, as it brought back bitter memories. If she want to take these things is correlate and concern bitter memories, and she did not want to take any bitter memories, because the most important thing is her mother, and her mother is no more now. Her mother was no more. There to revive the pleasant memories. If her mother is alive at that time, definitely she take these things. But there is no use of these belonging things in absence of my mother. This is why she lifted everything and she returned back and take train and returned back, and by train she reached her own house, new house. Thank you so much.